Welcome once again to Religion's Black Eye. This video, well, frankly this entire channel is a result of the challenge thrown down by a man whose video really inspired me to at least crack open the closet door of my church-imposed prison and do something in the name of the atheist movement. Whether you watch his video before finishing my own, or whether you wait until after I'm finished here, it makes no difference. The only important thing is that you do watch it. So, here's to Phil. Today I got my copy of the Southern Baptist Texan. The Southern Baptist Texan is the news journal of the Southern Baptists of Texas Convention. Remember that even though my worldview has changed and that I now fully embrace a creation without a creator, the truth is that at any time my phone could ring, or I might see someone on the street and hear,
"When do you think you'll want to work again? We really need someone to teach the youth."
or possibly,
"We are having a revival next month. Why don't you sing a couple of songs?"
while I have resigned my position in the church and no longer attend church services with any regularity, no one is aware, as yet, the degree to which I have abandoned the church and the God created there. Now I find it kind of humorous to get these sort of things in the mail, but I suppose it is a good thing, because I will always have the inside line on what my former denomination is up to. This month the focus seems to be on evolution. Isn't it troubling? Millions of people out there decrying something that they do not even understand. Referencing a Bible they don't even read. Trust me, the majority of church members are not reading their Bible. The only time they open their Bible is on a Sunday morning when someone like me tells them to. In a way, Phil Helens is right. We have to do something to let our voices be heard. We have to do something to combat the surging tide of irrational nonsense that is religion. As my channel grows, changes, and develops over the months, and hopefully years, my primary focus will be on the Christian religion, given as how it is the religion in which I was born, conceived, and in which I served. Even so, I do plan on pointing out the absurdity of all religions, as I have had to study them in my role as a church leader. Will it really matter what I do here on YouTube? I do not know, but isn't it better to do something, rather than nothing? I know a very intelligent man who has 2 college degrees under his belt. He is very wise, and is the last person on earth that anyone would take as a rube. Unfortunately, he is also one of the staunchest religious zealots that I know. Strange. He is an intelligent man, but he will wrestle reason straight to the ground when it comes in contact and conflict with his religious beliefs. A talking snake? Sure, why not? The murder of every firstborn child in Egypt by God? Sounds good. What's next? How about a zombie savior flying through the air on his way back to heaven in order to begin paving the streets with gold and getting that mansion built just for you? But of course. How about the possibility that life has evolved over millions of years through the process of natural selection and continues to do so with every new species that comes on the scene and is evidenced with every old one that disappears? Sacrilege. Sacrilege. I didn't come from a monkey. I was formed from the dust of the earth by a magic man in the sky. Damn, lost him in the end. I thought I saw a ray of reason in there, but I guess not. No one in the scientific community is saying that we are simply highly evolved chimps, but the religious fundamentalists who skew the truth in order to freak out their congregations are doing just that very thing. And no evolutionary scientist has ever suggested that our evolution or the evolution of any creature on the earth was a result of pure chance. The fact is natural selection is the very opposite of chance. So, what does this have to do with you and me? What does this have to do with you, the closet atheist, like me? Or the atheist curious? Or the agnostic? Or anyone who rejects the nonsense of the big guy in the sky? Simply this. There are those that would have the population of the world close their minds to the possibility that they might be wrong. There are those who would have you check your brain at the door, but bring your wallet into the sanctuary. These same people would poison the minds of everyone with whom they might come into contact with against the use and exploration of reason, and they are not going to rest until we are all vacuous sheep, living in fear, and seeking direction and forgiveness from their duplicitous, genocidal, homophobic, misogynist God. That, oh, yeah, loves you, by the way. I'm trying to keep from being a smart aleck, but I do have decades of pent-up frustration that has been begging for a vent for ages. In a way, this is what I'm getting at tonight. A battle is raging for the minds of all people who might seek reason rather than superstition when asking questions about the who, what, when, where, and how of life. What can we do to combat something as organized as this? I can tell you what the Southern Baptists are doing right now. Within the 16 pages of the Southern Baptist Texan, dated November 12, in this 16-page publication there are 4 lengthy articles on Charles Darwin, the origin of species, and evolution. The titles include, Scholars assess damage of Darwin on ethics, culture, and hermeneutics. First person, Getting over our love for Darwin. Scholars discuss Darwin and design at Southwestern Seminary Conference. And finally, scholars tackle myths about intelligent design and Darwin. Notice how often they use the word scholar in their titles and text. They do this because they know that the vast majority of Christians, will not question their findings. They know that the majority of the sheep will never investigate the claims made by these scholars. Charles Darwin. His theory seems like the most simple of things in the world to understand. I contend that, if it were not for religion's hold on the world, coupled with our human resistance to the notion that we might be wrong, when Darwin proposed his theory, the whole world should have had shared in an astonished and collective, of course. But, no. For lengthy articles, further entrenching a misrepresentation of the theory of evolution, went out to tens of thousands of Southern Baptists today. Look, I'm not saying that you have to head down to your local craft store and buy them out of all their poster board in order to place pro-reason signs around your town. I'm not saying that you have to go out proselytizing atheism among your friends, family, and co-workers. I'm just saying that the atheist footprint needs to be bigger. It is up to each of us to do something. For me, that thing to do is a channel on YouTube. A place where I can share my appreciation for an atheistic worldview. Albeit largely anonymously. It is what I can do. I can tell you one thing that you can do. One thing that at the very least you are absolutely able to perform on behalf of your stance as a rational human being. You can vote. You can stand alone in a voting booth and without witness or possibility of retribution, alter the political landscape of your country. You can help to elect men and women who will use reason and logic when making local, state, federal, and international decisions on your behalf, rather than someone who waits for an answer from an invisible man in the sky, who, by the way, seems incredibly slow to answer the pleas from those he loves that suffer from cancer, AIDS, Alzheimer's, and even those Christians who bellow heart-wrenching suicidal wails to a deaf God. So listen please. Do something, anything to help make the voice of those who, without a God, have found a world that is beautiful, challenging, and full of purpose. In some way, anyway, help make our footprint bigger and harder to ignore. Most importantly, do something. Anything but nothing. This has been Religion's Black Eye, ranting.